Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be answering questions that you guys have asked me, and so there will be no demo, no building, but just answering what you guys want to know. Okay, first question. Is YouTube your only job or do you do something else? So YouTube is technically my only job. It's not my only responsibility. I have 2 kids and I am fortunate enough to have a husband who works full-time who supports us. So yeah, and my kids are in school, so YouTube is my only technical job, I guess. What are some of the people that influence you, favorite designers, creators? Okay, I am influenced all the time by people that I watch. I wouldn't say like big designers. It's more like content creators on YouTube or Instagram. I will link a bunch of those below if you're interested, ones that I like to watch that I always get inspiration from, because they're just most of the time normal people like me who are doing awesome projects. What programs do you use to edit your videos? They're so well done. Do you have a background in this too? Okay, this was the biggest learning curve and I'm still working on it. I use a program called Filmora Wondershare. I'll also link that down below. It is not my favorite. It works, but no, I do not have a background in this at all. I had to learn from scratch how to edit the videos. I'm, like I said, still working on it, but thanks for saying they look professional. It's still a work in progress. What is your new wood-looking floor made of? It is very nice looking. Brand and color, please. So the flooring is from Lowe's. It's Allen and Roth, and it's in Scarlet Oak, which I will link that below. It's a water-resistant laminate. I went with that for price point. It was an amazing price, and also we have a pool, so it is water resistant. So when my kids are coming in and out of the house from the pool, hopefully that will help. We've seen your new wood floor exposed under several projects. Have you ever scratched or gouged it? Do you ever splotch, drip, and splatter paint where it's not intended to go? Are you that expert? Is there patchwork and cleanup going on which we viewers do not see? I should probably cover things more. It's out of laziness that I don't, but also I'm a pretty neat painter. But yes, there are things, there's cleanup that you don't see that I find super boring, but it wipes right off. As far as scratching the floor, no, I have not scratched the floor. There is a gouge in it from something flying down the stairs and hitting it really hard, but other than that, yeah, I'm not an expert. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to things like that. I would rather just wipe it up because it comes right off with a like washcloth and water versus taping everything and having to deal with all that. I'd rather just wipe it up later. What brand and model of DIY level spray painter kit do you use most and why? I've actually never used a paint sprayer. I would love to, maybe sometime in the future. How do you make a small knot in your t-shirts? When I do it, it looks stupid and doesn't lay right. Please demonstrate on one of your YouTube videos. This is really funny because I've actually looked this up on Pinterest or I think maybe YouTube, but I will show you how I do it. Okay, when I am putting a knot in my shirts, it helps if the shirts are a little bit oversized when you start. So I just grab it on the side and twist and then pull it through. Can you explain the differences between types and uses of specific caulks, fillers, adhesives? Why and when do you choose one over another? Which brands have you used? Please tell us when you find a better one so we can learn as you learn. Okay, this question, I could answer this, I could talk forever, but I don't want to bore you as far as caulks, fillers, adhesives. I use a flexible latex caulk. I just get it from Lowe's. I'll link that down below. That is my favorite because it doesn't seem to crack as much. When I did the kitchen sink, for the caulk around that, I used a specific kitchen and bath caulk because it is made to be around water. So it's pretty self-explanatory, the types of caulks. If you look on the bottles, they'll say whether they're paintable or not paintable, and depending on what I need them for is the one that I will get. Silicone versus latex. I will try to explain that a little bit better as I do projects, like why I'm using the type of silicone or latex that I use. So I'll do better in the future. I want to make a nice table to put my starter bonsai on. What kind of wood does best with stain outdoors? Cedar, I'm pretty sure, and cypress. But cedar, I'm actually going to be doing a project outdoors with that in the future, so stay tuned for that. So this is the number one question that I get almost on every video is, how did you learn to do all the stuff that you do? Did you go to carpentry school or something like that? So I am not in any way professionally trained. I have not had any formal schooling. I started years ago. I think 2014 is when I really got into it. I just wanted to make a kitchen table. So I got my start with my grandpa, who was an engineer, and he also did woodworking. And it was just a means to an end at the time. I wanted a table. I didn't know that I was gonna fall in love with it like I did. He taught me the basics, how to use a drill, which I was terrible at. I stripped so many of his drill bits and he was so patient with me. But he taught me how to use the saw and things like that, very beginner things that I had no idea how to do. And we ended up building a table that I loved and that I used for years. So after that, I fell in love with tools and woodworking, and I started doing craft shows and like little crafts as to ways to make money to bring in extra income around Christmas and things like that. So yeah, that is where I mainly started. And as far as how do I know how to do these things, a lot of the things that I do, I don't know how to do. That sounds funny because I have a YouTube channel, but I'm learning as you guys are learning. And I'll get into that a little bit more in one of the other questions as far as projects that I'm attempting. But yeah, that's how I learned how to do things, was I just started with the basics. I had a great teacher to help me learn the basics. And then I just watched a lot of YouTube and Pinterest tutorials, and I would see different ways that they did things. And then I thought, well, I'll just go for it. I'll just try it. And some things worked out and some things didn't, but I learned from every project, whether they turned out good or not. How many homes have you done remodels, makeovers in? Do you know how much value you are adding to your home by making these changes? So we've moved quite a bit. This is the house I'm currently renovating right now, is my fourth house that we've owned in 6 years, which sounds like a lot, because it is a lot. So our first house was a cute little starter home. It was brand new. I did not do a lot to that home. Like I said, I was doing craft shows and doing more things like that. Also, I built a lot of and refinished furniture more than I did things to the actual house. So the house came with me. Nope. So the furniture came with me. So I didn't do tons to the house other than changing a couple, well, I didn't know how to change a light fixture yet. I had a couple of light fixtures changed and I painted, and that was kind of about it in that house other than decorating. The next house, and we only lived in that first house for 10 months. The next house, we lived there for 3 years, and I learned a little bit more. I had light fixtures changed. Also, a family member helped us put in a backsplash there. I painted, and I did some things like I built some floating shelves, which stayed with the house, and framed out some mirrors. So it was smaller things like that, nothing too big. And then our next house was when I started doing more to the actual house. We had the entire house painted when we moved in, and I redid the kitchen. I painted the cabinets, which is the first time I had done that, and completely redid that, and did some things in the dining room, like framed out windows like you've seen me do before on my channel. Probably one of the biggest projects that I did was we had 20-foot ceilings in the living room, and I redid the fireplace and built like a decorative, I'll probably insert pictures so you can see what I'm talking about. That was one of the biggest projects that I did there. And I did room makeovers in our bedroom and in the kids' areas and things like that. But again, not a lot of big renovation. So when we had the opportunity to purchase the house that we're currently in, I knew going in that I wanted to make all of the changes that I'm making. I budgeted for that. We bought the house knowing we would change all of these things. So our first 2 homes were brand new. Our third home was only 4 years old. This home is 17 years old, so it needed a lot more updating, which I was really excited about. How much value are we adding to the home? It's hard to say. With our last house, making some of the changes that I made, and also the market was really good. Our realtor said that the changes that I had made would help the house sell a lot quicker, which it also did. We made about $20,000 on that house, but who knows as far as was that the market or was that just the updates that I did? I can't really say. In our current house, I've already spoken to my realtor, and I am going to have her come out once I'm done with all of the bathrooms and give us an updated estimate as far as what she thinks we could sell this house for versus what we paid for it. So that'll be fun to see. What made you decide to join YouTube and film your home projects? So this probably has a few answers. I wanted to start my YouTube channel for a few reasons. In our last house, I would do my projects and I would post them on social media, just kind of before and after pictures. And people would say, oh, I'd love to see how you did this. And so also when it came time to sell the house, our realtor came and said, I need you to write down a list of all of the things that you've done to the house. And I was like, oh, I can't remember everything. So I had to go room by room and say, oh yeah, I changed that. And I wished that I would have documented it. So when we bought this house, I knew that I was gonna be making lots of big changes, and I really wanted to document that, if for nothing else, for me, that I could see how far the house had come. That was the first reason. The second reason was lots of people had said to me, I could never do what you do, or I don't know how you do that. And it kind of bums me out a little bit because I want people to realize you can do what I do. It's not as overwhelming as you think it is. It just takes some time and a lot of patience, but you can do anything that you have the patience to figure out how to do. I hope that makes sense. I also wanted to start a YouTube channel. I knew I was gonna be renovating the house, this new house anyway, and so I thought it would be a great revenue stream if it could make money at all that would help with all of these renovations that I'm doing. Great. Okay, last question. Would you be willing to break up some of your videos in order to do tutorials on exactly how you do things? I love them, but find them more entertaining than informative. Okay, I struggle with this all the time. When I'm filming, when I'm editing, how much to keep in. I don't want to bore you guys getting too technical, but I want you to feel like, I want you to leave my videos thinking, oh, I could probably do that too. So first thing, I am very responsive to comments. I've had people DM me on Instagram and ask me specifics about the projects that I'm happy to share specific things that you might want to know. The reason that I haven't been more in depth about a lot of the tutorials is, or a lot of the videos, the projects that I've done, is they have been very custom to my specific home. Like when I did this behind me with the shelves and the built-ins, it was specific to my living room width. So I need some feedback from you guys. What do you want to see? Do you want me to slow down and explain more what I'm doing? Or do you like just getting general information or inspiration from the videos that I do? Let me know. Also, if you want tutorials, send me or comment down below or send me a DM on what specifically you would like to see a tutorial on, because I can dedicate a video to that that'll slow down and step by step show you exactly what I do. I hope this I hope this answered all of your questions. If you have any more, make sure that you leave them in the comments down below and I'll try to get to them. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.